Police in Akwa Ibom have arrested a self-acclaimed doctor, Sunday Okon Akpan, for allegedly killing a 35-year-old woman during a botched abortion at his clinic in Ibesikpo, Asutan local government area. Investigations reveal that Akpan, who runs Full Life Medical Center in Ikot Obio-Odong, is only a community health worker with no license to practice medicine or nursing. Police spokesperson DSP Tim Fon John confirmed that the suspect was arrested on August 19 following the death of the victim, identified as Blessing Sunday Etim. The arrest followed the complaints from the deceased mother. According to reports, Akpan attempted to smuggle the corpse into the victim's room to cover up the crime, but fled when confronted by neighbors. Detectives who arrived at the scene discovered the premature fetus exiting from the victim's body. The clinic has since been abandoned, with investigations confirming that the suspect had long operated under false pretense, offering illegal medical services and carrying out unsafe abortions. DSP John stated that the deceased's body has been deposited in a morgue for autopsy, while the Commissioner of Police has ordered a thorough probe to ensure justice. Wow. What do you make of this story, sir?
I mean, this is one of many cases of, abortion going wrong. And that just brings the whole concept of abortion and taking responsibilities on the aspect of adults. Because now, I'm sure these things don't just happen in the vacuum, right? You would have met with someone and then you found out that you were pregnant and because abortion is not extremely good. As much as we all know that abortion is wrong, it has always been the wrong thing. There are some frame of thoughts or people that would think it is still an option. They think that in some cases some adults are not ready to bring a child into the world in the terms of taking care of the child, caring for the child, growing up and all of that. Some couples are just starting up and they're not even ready for kids yet. I've heard of stories where young couples, even have discussions about these things and decide that abortion is the way to go. But as sad as this story sounds, it's just the reality of the things that can go wrong, especially when you are all lucky to find yourself in the care of a fake doctor, which is the scenario in this case. And from the reports after this happened, it was clear that the so-called doctor tried to cover up all the evidences of the crime that has been committed already. So it's such a sad one, and it's just a reality check and message to people out there, sadly, to be very careful with their health. If you ask me if abortion is a good thing or a bad thing, I would say it's a bad thing because there are lots of things involved, especially medically, that could go wrong. The worst case scenario is what we just, what we are seeing in the report now, which is fair. There are some scenarios where women, get their womb, what's the word to use now? They probably, if I may say, lose their womb, the process. Some find out that they can no longer have kids in the future. But then I understand the fact of, if we have this child, we cannot even take care of this child. But I think people should be much more concerned with how to prevent these things when they are not ready, rather than taking such drastic measures when these things show up.
All right, sir. In the case of Mr. The case of the doctor in the story, don't you think the deceased case was just an unfortunate incident? Because according to the story, he has been there for a while, so it's possible he has been carrying out other, abortions on other people. Because if it wasn't good, or if he had had a case of death in his hospital before, people probably would have reported to the police and then gotten him arrested. But according to the story, he has been there for a while. So I was asking, in the case of the deceased, could it be that it was just an unfortunate incident for her? Because the story states that the hospital has been there for quite a while. So it could be that the doctor in question has been carrying out other, abortions and other activities on other patients. So don't you think it was just an unfortunate incident for the deceased? And I don't know, I believe that there's a level or a duration for which pregnancy should stay before it can be aborted. Could it also be that hers was overdue? Like, is it entirely the doctor's fault? That's my question. Did she also have a role to play in this?
I mean, what has happened, but there are a couple of spectrums to look at, like what you rightly said, from your question. I mean, the hospital is said to have been there for quite a while, and like many others that have been exposed in the past, that is also a prominent feature that we see. I mean, nobody just goes to Ibrahim Hospital that is not looking like a good place to go to, right? So it's possible that hospital has been there for a while. It's possible that it has been carrying out these operations on people successfully for a while. It's possible that it might have gone wrong along the way, or it probably hid it. I mean, him being exposed now will probably open up more data on all of his old practices so far. But the fact remains that, I mean, as a society, we know that these things happen. So what has the government, what has the medical body as a whole done to checkmate these things? I mean, we could say some of it is our fault, right? But like I said, the fact that this doctor turns out to be a fake doctor and has been practicing for a while is not completely her fault. She probably felt she was in safe hands. It could also be that maybe it was nearly beyond the stage of being aborted and things just went wrong from there. And that is where you find out that if he was a licensed doctor, probably he might have disapproved he might have advised her that, okay, this stuff you want to do is not safe given the time it is, and how old the future has already grown into. But when you have the case of a fake doctor who is probably much more interested in what you want to pay, they would most likely not give you that advice, right? You must have thought I don't know what word to use. Must have thought you could have done it successfully.
But isn't it possible that he probably must have told her and then she insisted that he goes ahead anyway?
I mean, even with trained doctors and professionals, I feel like when things like this happen, they would insist, or they will tell you to go to another specialist hospital or another hospital to ensure that their name and their licenses are not revoked if things go wrong. I don't think they would. I mean, that's why they are professionals in the first place, right? To tell us when it's safe to do something, or when you insist on something that would. I mean, it's not even probably a 50% chance. When you insist on something that could most likely go wrong, maybe a 70% chance of fatality, they would most likely not do it at all compared to doing it. I mean, it's not the case of emergency now that we might say, oh, maybe someone had an accident and they want to maybe, God forbid, amputate someone's leg. That's an emergency. But this one is the case of someone coming to meet you, a completely fine person, right? And telling you, oh, I want to do this. And a professional would have known that, okay, this thing is not safe. But I still feel like the fact that he's not a professional completely, even if if you can say he has had experience doing it very well or over time, but a professional that is truly trained and licensed will definitely be much more knowledgeable than a fake doctor, a quack doctor.
Oh, thank you so much. So now that's to say that, because I want to assume that the government institutions are not doing as much as they should. Take, for example, we have like an established hospital. Shouldn't there be a body that goes around to check all of these hospitals to ensure that they are licensed and all of that. For example, you have schools, you see some agencies going around to ensure that these schools, are registered schools and they are carrying out the duties that they are expected to. Shouldn't we have something like that in the aspect of the hospitals and all of that? Or should we say that they are, but they are not doing as much as they should? Or it's possible they've gone there and then they've been bribed or paid to go. I mean, this is Nigeria. Anything can happen. So what do you think?
We cannot rule out all of this. Like I did touch earlier, that the government is supposed to, the medical body, the association, is supposed to ensure that these things are being checked. Just like the way you have, like where I work, we have lots of people coming to check customs. It's a steel factory. Customs come around, safety bodies come around, medical bodies, fire institutions, those things are supposed to be things that happen in literally every organization, especially medical field, like frequent, maybe every 6 months or every 1 year, these bodies come to check. I want to believe there is, but I feel like in this part of the world, we do not take those things seriously. Right, and like you rightly said, it's possible that they've gone to check and someone is probably taking a bribe at the corner, to keep a quiet mouth. That's the society we live in. But we as civilians, as leaders in whatever organization we are, I want to just encourage and charge people to take responsibility, to be accountable for the things we do. If you're in charge of checking these things, try and do your job. And if you eventually find someone that is doing the wrong thing, you have to blow the whistle, because at the end of the day, it might seem like you are getting away with it or you are not directly involved with it. But these people, a lot of these people that are negatively affected, will still be on your hands, because we shouldn't have things like this happening in this age and era. I mean, how would a physical hospital have a fake doctor of this Asian era? It's almost impossible, but find out that in this part of the world it happens a lot here.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your contribution on that story, sir.